How you doing? My name is John McCormick. I go by the nickname J-Mac. I got that nickname when I was 13 from my friend Philly that I grew up with in New York. He just shortened my name. He's like, yo, your name's J-Mac. I'm like, I bet. As a kid, I was obsessed with movies, like highly. Like if I had my Toy Story, like I love the movie Toy Story. If I lost my Woody Toy Dolls hat, I would lose my shit. My mom would have to go buy me a whole new toy. Like, yeah, I just love movies like that. Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Jaws. I had it all on VHS and DVD. And it's funny, like as a kid, my whole family was always like, "You're gonna be the next Spielberg. Your dad obsessed with movies." It's kind of ironic. My dad's in that industry now himself. I never made it, but it's okay. As a kid, I was bullied. My parents, we moved to a part of Long Island called North Belmore, and the kids on my block were all older, and they were mean to me. And one day they jumped me, and my dad sat me down and said, "Listen, you gotta defend yourself. Go punch the biggest instigator in the face. I guarantee you they'll leave you alone." And I was afraid, and I didn't believe him, but I did it. And after that, everything fell in line. Like they were nice to me. I didn't really trust them, but they were nice to me. And I never really I didn't like hanging out with them, so I hung out with other kids. And I had like a pretty normal childhood from there on till I was about 12, you know? When I was 12, I just turned 12, and my best friend started this false rumor about me, and the whole neighborhood turned on me, thinking it was true, and only a couple of people didn't turn on me. And I have nothing but love for those people to this day, you know? And so I started hanging around an older crowd, and I'm selling weed. I started selling weed first, eventually started smoking it that summer, you know, and just getting into trouble, you know, just some pretty serious trouble. And by the age of 13, my parents decided to get me out of New York. So we moved to Bucks County in Pennsylvania. And I thought I was gonna be living on a farm, but it was the biggest house I ever lived in. It was in the suburbs, in the Philadelphia suburbs. It was great. You know, the house had an upstairs. I've never had a house with an upstairs before, so it was really cool to me. But by 14, I got locked up for the first time. And I did 10 months and a year of probation as a result of the crime. And while in there, I became acquainted with some pretty bad people. Started seeing a lot of shit that I shouldn't be seeing at that age. But what was I gonna do? I was locked up. But in there was some positivity though. While in there, I started writing lyrics to music a lot. Got more focused on that. Back when I was 12, I would freestyle rap with some friends and make a joke out of it. But at 14 and 15, when I was locked up, I started taking it a little bit more serious. I wrote a song in there called Drive Me Crazy, which is about my time in there. It was pretty sick. And I started having ideas and beats I wanted to sample. I remember one of the songs I wanted to sample really bad was All My Love by Led Zeppelin. I just love that beat, you know? So, and when I was locked up that time, I found out I have Asperger's syndrome. And I was like, what's wrong with my ass? Like, I didn't know what was wrong with me. Like, and they explained to me that I'm on the autism spectrum. Now, for a long time, I had to deal with this. Like, I was ashamed of it. I was afraid to work on it. You know, I thought I was mentally retarded. Like, it just wasn't a good look. But really, I found out these people that have it are pretty smart. You know, and that kind of gives me some motivation as well. When I got out of there, I was sent to an alternative school, and they had like a recording studio in there. So that's where I started mixing, learning how to record music and stuff. And I recorded this one song called Club Hop, which I performed at the Ardley Community Center in town, and we made a music video of it. It was the stupidest video of all time. But it was so stupid, it was on Tosh.0. Like, he made fun of it on the show. It was great. And in the middle of all this, I'm dating this girl, Emily, who was like my best friend in the world. I love that girl to death. You know, and like, our relationship on and off was always really good. Never really had too many problems, never argued so much. You know, I love that girl. A week before I got off probation, I hurt my foot playing tackle football with some friends who could prescribe opiate pills. That began my run with opiates. The day I got off probation, I go back to smoking weed and drinking more than I ever drank in my life. I was drinking all day long, skipping school to drink. I'll drink at school. You know, and like that just became my life for a little bit. And then as I'm doing my music thing, I started to realize a lot of the kids in the neighborhood are like starting to rap, and they're trying to be like the next Asher Roth, who was like a rapper in my town who came out with a big song called I Love College. You know, out of everybody though who was rapping around my way, this one dude, Mike Mavis, he went by Maverick at the time, the best. Killing it. Every song he did was fire. He later became Young Foreign, and that's his stage name currently. And he's a very good friend of mine, very solid kid. I love his music. I think he could really do some shit with it. But by the age of 19, you know, I've caught a few more cases by this point, and out of treatment a little bit. So I ended up in Florida for the first time for rehab. And yeah, that was a whole mess. I was down there when it was the Wild Wild West with the marketers out front of Starbucks and Atlantic and Delray, trying to put people in treatment off the street, trying to make, it was all about money. This is the Kenny Chapman days, you know, and like things was very messed up, and I caught in the Florida shuffle for the next couple of years, like in and out of treatment, getting paid, ripping people off, doing grimy shit. I worked at a lab, it was great. I was either in Florida for treatment, sometimes California too, or I was in Kensington, Philadelphia, running around getting high, doing dumb shit. The movie Creed came out. They were filming, I think it was 2015, I was in Kensington getting high. And me and my friends decided to shake down the producer. We started screwing up their shots. So the guy came over to us and said, yo, what's up? What do you want? We want a couple $100. So they gave us a couple $100 each, and we each got high for like 2 days off that money. It was just a mess. I was robbing, I was boosting from stores, I was selling drugs, selling needles on the corner like a dumbass, like, you know. But in the middle of all this, like at the same time, I was getting involved in my music a little bit more heavily. I was selling beats, getting high with that money. I became friends with this kid, Jay Spoken, who's now dead. He was one of my best friends. He got murdered. He put me on to Touch Money Entertainment, which are the people who's had my back through this music shit from the beginning for me, basically. And you know what? They support me so much with this. I want to go do comedy. They're like, go do comedy. I got your back. You know, like they really look out for me. Kata, Bees, all the motherfuckers really look out for me. I have nothing but love for those guys. You know, and Touch Money, they're considered the Wu-Tang of Philadelphia. Everybody has their own unique style. They came up as battle rappers in West Philly. NH came around, he was from North Philly. He started doing music with Meek Mill, AR-Ab, all them dudes. Like, and these are my people. And these are people I mess with, and they mess with me, and they love me, and I love them. I got nothing but respect for those guys. They would record videos in this place called The Hut, which was you know, they were doing some illegal activity there, and they got in trouble for that. But that was the spot. That was the spot to go to. Anybody who wanted a battle rap would go to The Hut. And you know, and I'm doing my music. I recorded an album called The Kirsten Plant. In 2018, I had this DJ from Miami come in. I was in Florida at the time. He came in to produce a song I did called Just Want, which people loved. I didn't really like it, but people liked it. And in the middle of this, Emily dies. Emily dies of a heroin overdose. Now, people blame me and still blame me for her death, and that breaks my fucking heart. Because I had nothing but love for that girl. I went to her funeral, I was sober, and I was crying my eyes out. So what happened? I ended up getting high right after the funeral, trying to kill myself, which I didn't die, thankfully. You know, and I just lost my mind after she died for a while, man. You know, and that leads me up to now, you know, like, I'm still doing music. I had an album drop in February on Apple and Spotify and all platforms called Dark Decembers. That, people are fucking with this album. Like, my cousin said it's the best album I ever did. And in the middle of this, I did a podcast interview earlier in the year, which was really cool. Like, it was a fun time. And I'm currently working on a new album called Strangers in the Night. Like, that's my thing right now. I want to get this album in the can. Because this album's going to be, this is like a part 2 to Dark Decembers. It's going gonna be awesome. Yeah, I'm J-Mac and I'm an addict, man, and I love life right now. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for letting me share. So this is a little verse I'm doing to a song, to a beat that my friend did. Here we go. Purple low, green horse, call the shit the Joker. Smoke an L with the fire tree, call me a smoker. Bees on the track with the Mac, that's a hit. Rated in the studio too, he need a shit. Nipples pierced on a broad, that be so hot. A boy hit a look at a fake grand, that's a ball drop. iPhone with 3 cameras, that is fire. Hot follow me for 10 years to retire, bitch. Yeah, this little beat I'm doing. And then I got this John. This is a beat I'm writing to. I just thought it was kind of fire, some mellow shit, you know?